Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to Life Lessons with Doris. I'm Doris. Today I want to discuss more about boundaries with professors, which is part of Life Lessons Learning Experience. Today's topic is Boundaries with Professors Part 2. Last year I discussed the boundaries with professors, which is Part 1. And I share you a story about what happened when I was a freshman in community college that I stopped by at one of my former professors office during his office hours. He told me that his office hours are off limits, that he doesn't have time to socialize. And he mentioned if this happened, he'll file a complaint and he and I don't want that. Do you understand? And that's how that's what he said. And looking back, I felt very insulted, but I realized that he wasn't trying to hurt my feelings. He was just saying it in a professional way, meaning that he was just trying to set a boundary. And I'm going to discuss more about it. I remembered several years ago when I was a sophomore in community college, it was on May 12, 2002. I stopped by at one of my former professor's hours, whom I had for music appreciation back in fall 2001. And I stopped by in his office and I told him how my week went. I told him that I dropped pre algebra because I wasn't doing good in the course due to low grades on the test. I studied hard, I tried my best, so I decided to drop it in order to save my GPA because I maintained a 3.0 GPA in community college. I started sharing one of my I told my music appreciation professor about my issues that I have had with my pre-algebra professor. I felt that he didn't like me, blah blah blah, until he paused for a second. He said, "Doris, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings." So he shook my hand. He said that his office hours for students who need an assistance, meaning that his office are designed for current students, not for former students. If this is about your other classes or other professors, he suggested I should talk to her friends or talk to a counselor. That's what he said. And what I've learned about it is not to, discuss professors about other professors because that's gossiping and it can hurt their reputation. Not only that, it can ruin their career and you can get expelled by that. I almost got in trouble with that in community college with the VP of Student Services at Moreno Valley College. And it was discussed in a crisis intervention committee meeting about my interactions with professors. And that's what my therapist told me. He said that I was going to professors to tell him my problems. Then the therapist from Moreno Valley College talked to the then VP of Student Services, told him that he doesn't need to worry about me, that I've been seeing the therapist and all that. She's in good hands. She didn't mean any harm, that I was involved in student government, blah, blah, blah. That's what he told me. Looking back, I was humiliated and disgusted. I mean, disgusted about my behavior. And looking back made me realize that I need to stop telling people my business because I used to tell my people, I used to tell people my business. And the same thing that happened when I was a sophomore in high school, that was going around telling people my business too much about why I needed to change my school because of the CTED Health Science Technology program. And I've got in trouble for with my mom for that. She was very upset at me and it takes me back. And looking back 20 years later, I mean, looking back 10 years later, I realized that I kept on coming to professors all the time to socialize, telling them my business because I felt very attached to them because I love those professors. I like to tell them my business. What I learned that professors are there to teach. They help you to become successful in life. They're not there to be your parents, your guardians, or your friends. They're here to teach, and that's their job. And what I learned that my job as a student is to learn to get my degree and move on to the lesson. I'm not here that. And the reason why I keep on going up because I'll is because of I felt too attached to those professors that I like to tell my business. And I saw the names of those professors on the faculty website. I mean, the more and the college catalog online where they get their, degrees from. And I realized that you have to get obsession with professors. Professors are there to teach. They're not there to be friends. And that's what I've learned from experience. I remember my pre-algebra professor, but I'm not going to say the name, he confronted me about what I did, that I was spreading rumors about him saying that I dislike him to, professors and one of his colleagues. He said that few of his students told him that, and the teacher told me, and my pre-algebra professor say, what makes you think that? I didn't get a definite answer. And it's because of the issue and all that. He say, and he told me not to spread rumors again. He was hurt. And what I learned is not to discuss professors about other professors because that's considered gossiping. And you can slander their reputation, career, and their life. You have to be careful about it. And also you can get expelled, and that's what I've learned from it. And looking back, I feel so bad. Bad. However, I apologized to my math professor and he accepted my apology. And what I learned is to just be careful about how you say things and just think before you jump into conclusion. The reason why say that he hate me is when I attended the banquet 10 years ago for my community services hours, and I saw that my pre-algebra professor won the faculty of the year at NBC for outstanding services. I feel that he don't like me. And I realized that I misread that. And what I learned is to just think before you jump into conclusion. And that's what I've learned from the experiences. And what I learned is to forgive and forget and just not to, do something like that, not to discuss professors about other professors because it's gossiping and it can hurt their career. And I have to be careful about it. And that taught me a lesson. And also, I remembered that one of my former professor, whom I had for music appreciation, brought this to the VP of Student Services. Then the VP brought it into the Crisis Intervention Community at Moreno Valley College. Then my therapist told me about what happened. However, the therapist had talking to the VP of Student Services and told him you don't need that he doesn't need to worry about me, that I've been seeing a therapist, which I did. That I was involved in student government. I should have told him, the therapist, thank you. And looking back, if I had some feelings about how I felt with that profession, I should have left it in the therapist. And that's the mistake about me. I was beating myself about it. I felt like I was a 2 year. And what I learned is to just forgive yourself and just be careful how you say things. If I had problems, I would have gone to my friends or a therapist or my family if I have an issues instead of telling the my former professor about my pre-algebra professor, which is not good. And that's what I've learned about it. And what I learned is stop fo- focusing on those professors, focus on myself. And that's what I learned, which I did. I did. Also, I remember on mid May of 2012, the DSS counselor confronted me and told me that the VP of Student Services emailed me concerned about my interactions with professors, that I've been going to the office telling them my business, and he told me that you do not go to your former professors all the time to tell them the business or say, hi, how's it going? He said that professors are there to teach, they're not there to be your friend. And looking back, that it really opened my eyes and it really taught me a lesson. It taught me to stop going to professor's office. Some of them don't mind, but I just have to be careful with that because it's boundary issues and I don't want to get in trouble. And looking back made me understand about what my former professor, whom I had for CIS 1A, told me when he told me that his office hours are off limits, that he doesn't have time for casual conversation. Looking back made me realize that he was looking out for me. He doesn't want to, he doesn't want me to get in trouble nor himself in trouble for coming to his office hours as his friend. But that's what he wanted. And that's what he said. What I learned is to respect the boundaries with professors because that's important, even at a college or a university level. This is not secondary school. This is community college and a university. And I did not do that in the university, thank God, because I've learned from it. But what I learned is that you have to respect the boundaries. Also, I want to discuss about giving gifts and what I learned giving gifts to professors, which is not necessary. I used to do that when I was in community college, but I don't do any anymore. My sister told me not to do that because it's not necessary. Giving a gift to a professor is considered inappropriate. For instance, if you're a poor college student and you're given a gift and the professor thinks that you're giving a favor, but you just have to be careful about that. But in grad school, you can't, but it has to be small and expensive. Expensive. But saying thank you to professors is enough, or giving a card, which is the most important than just gifts. And that's what I learned. The reason why, because I was trying to just show a token of appreciation. I was just trying to be like Miss Frankie Moore. And what I learned is don't be like others. Don't imitate others, just be yourself. I was just trying to be like Miss Frankie Moore, who was who's the coordinator of student activities. And I realized that Miss Moore is a faculty member. I'm not. And that's what I've learned. And what I learned is to just be careful with about how you go around with professors because this is not high school, this is college. You have to respect that. And that's what I've learned from the experience. Experience. I did not know it at that time, but now that I know, and that taught me a lesson. And also, I realized that I need to stop telling people my business, which I'm going to discuss on the future videos. And that's it for today's topic. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much.